Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Welcome, everybody, to the Friends in Recovery podcast with Jersey Ed. I'm your host, Jersey Ed, along with my two co-hosts, Buckeye, Bambi, and who the hell is Beth today? Basic. Beth. We called you blown off Beth last week, Beth. Oh. Yeah, blow us off, Beth. And we got some really good comments in the chat for that one. But anyways, our special guest today is Christine Johnson from long-term recovery and a couple other things, and we'll have her tell us who she is. She does some makeup stuff, some other stuff going on, and we're going to bring her on in a second. But ladies, and Christine, feel free to join in.
Okay, awesome.
We will be just go back and forth, and then we'll pull you in a couple minutes. So ladies, how was your week? Number one, and also Beth, please share those bikini pictures from the interns that we're getting.
They must have come to you because I didn't get any, Beth.
I didn't get any.
Well, so our three listeners probably don't feel comfortable in bikinis. So, but anyways, guys, we're looking for interns. And also it's Big Book Month. I didn't know if you knew that, Christine, but it is Big Book Month here on the Friends in Recovery. So talk about the Big Book. It is a good month. So we got a topic because we need something to keep us on track. As you can tell, we're all over the place. Hour and a half. Yes, we are. But anyways, so that's the topic for the month. Interns needed. Send all your intern information to Beth in your bikini, and she will send me all the pictures. She will
blush and be really, really embarrassed.
And so anyway, stay tuned for some amazing recovery, guys. If you want to get a hold of us, you're interested in being that podcast intern, if you have any questions, call us at 800-989-6504. Or email us at help at friendsinrecoverypodcast.com. And you can also find all this information at show notes below, or go to our website, friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. Also look for our emails right below us, and you can email each one of us directly. So that's why I said, make sure you send those bikini pictures to Beth.
You're killing me.
I'm killing her. Look for all of our social media on Friends in Recovery communities. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And what do? We push that little button over.
Turn the notification bell on. Turn
it on and ding it away so you know what's going on. So here's the part of the show I hate, Beth. Hate. I don't use that word.
Yeah.
The fucking Purple Hearts bullshit stuff. Give away.
Keep them Purple Hearts coming.
That's right.
You think they're Purple Hearts.
That's right. Christine, if you don't know, we do a challenge, and we're going to Bambi won it. It doesn't
challenge anymore.
It's not a challenge.
It's bullshit.
We want everybody to give us hearts. So you're going to get a red heart. Carl put a red heart up for you. Beth has black hearts because that is the color of her heart.
100%. Yeah, no, not poor. Very happy.
And Bambi has purple hearts, which we get a ton of all the time. And
yeah, everybody likes Bambi.
So please put them in the comments below.
Bambi knows who to beg.
Yeah. Leave your comments for the show. Do you ladies want to just take the show over? Because you know what? I know nothing about makeup, number one. I know nothing about
skincare and weight loss.
Weight loss. I don't know anything about that. But also, speaking of that, I would like to thank our donors to make this podcast possible, because without the donors, I wouldn't even be able to tell you I don't know anything about it. So we appreciate everybody who made this show possible. And don't forget that I don't even know we should say this anymore. That Friends in Recovery podcast is part of the Fire Network. Is anybody part of the Fire Network anymore, ladies?
Soberpod.
Okay, so go to our Facebook page, not our Facebook page, our website, and check us out on the Fire Network and see what that's all about. Let's see. Well, ladies, it is time for our sober shout outs. Anybody have them?
I have one.
I have one too.
As
Go ahead, Bambi, you go first.
Totally long and late. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Bambi, go ahead.
One of our friends in recovery, Shay T, is celebrating 4 years.
Shay. All right. Congratulations, Shay.
And she's one of our nurses, so I always connect with her. She's a great girl, you know. She's just really good. She fill-in hosts for us once in a while, and she's just a good girl. So
Shay has been with us. Shay has been with us on Friends in Recovery since almost the beginning, since March of 2020. She's been with us. So
wow.
Yeah, she's been around a long time. So congratulations, Shay. But yawning Beth, there's that not basic Beth.
I'm tired.
Beth, just take a nap. If you want, just take a nap. We'll just wait here till you get up. That's okay. We're waiting anyway. So anyways, who do you have for sober shout outs?
My sober shout out goes to AA. AA just celebrated its 88th birthday.
Yes, we did. Absolutely. Yes. So happy birthday, AA.
Happy
Shay.
birthday, AA.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
And Christine, do you have a sober shout out?
I have a couple friends with dates coming up in the next week. Can I give them a shout out?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. Big shout out to my friend Lynn. I think she's coming up on either 8. I think she's coming up on 8 years.
All right, Lynn.
Yeah, and she was instrumental in my recovery because when all the meetings shut down during COVID, she opened up an outside meeting.
Oh.
At this gazebo in a town right next to my town in Massachusetts. And she kept that meeting going every single day.
Wow.
Rain, snow, whatever. That went for, pretty much the whole pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure you're either a New York chick or a New England chick.
Yeah.
So New England was right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people like that keep us sober. People like that, people who started Friends in Recovery, like Stacy and Melissa from the beginning. And I kind of had some ideas about it, but but that's what kept this going. And that's why, AA is so strong, sitting in the cold in a gazebo, trying to figure out how to get on a computer,
right.
Like when you're afraid, the world's collapsing around you. That's what this is all about. So, so congratulations to, what was her name? Sandy? Lynn, Sandy. Okay.
Close enough.
And Lynn is a town in Massachusetts.
That is true.
See that?
North Shore town.
North Shore town, absolutely. So I love Boston. I'm up there a lot. So so anyways, this is the part of the show where we all try to get it all in sync. We all try to get it all together, and we all try to do it is what?
Question of the week.
Of the week.
Question of the week.
And here's the question of the week. So the question of the week is going to be a little bit longer than normal because Bambi's going to read the promises. But let me read the question of the week. What promise or promises in the big book do you see working in your life right now? What promises or promises in the big book do you see working on your life right now? So now we're going to read the basic promises. Beth told me there's 1 billion promises, so maybe 500 million. But we're gonna knock it down to 12 promises that we know of. Okay?
We are.
So Bambi's gonna read it, and then we're all gonna kind of share on that, and then we're gonna talk to Christine about how unorganized and how fucked up Friends in Recovery podcast.
Not at all. That's a great question, though. By the way, I love this question.
Absolutely. So we'll let you go first after Bambi.
Okay.
See, there you go.
Great.
The AA promises, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83 and 84.
All right. That's the question of the week. And there's the promises. And now this is the question is that how are they working in your life right now? What promise do you see working in your life right now? So Christine, if you don't mind, if you would like to go first and answer the question of the week.
I mean, what promises aren't working? I remember when I first got sober and I listened to that, it was like, no, not. And I never thought any of those promises would come true. But now, as I've listened to that Bambi read that, as I've listened so many times, it's like self-pity gone, self-seeking gone, fear gone. I mean, I used to be afraid of everything. Mm. I mean, you name it, I was scared of it. One thing that's changed so much is I used to be scared to drive over bridges. Gone. Like I would pull the car over, have my husband drive over the George Washington Bridge on our way to Jersey. No fear anymore. Okay. It's like all these little things, you think you're just putting the drink down, but your entire life changes.
Hands down. Yeah.
Yeah. The one promise that's working in my life right now, though, I would say is peace and serenity. Mm. That, we had a tragedy in our family in March. My sister-in-law passed away, and I have never been more grateful in my life that I do not drink. To be the calm person, to support my brother in this time and to, just remain calm through everything. That you really can't put a price tag on that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I had been drinking, I would have been no help. I just would have been commiserating.
God. Well, yeah, and there are these promises come up. They get bigger and smaller, and they come, and they kind of shine more in our lives at certain times and less, and all that. But underlyingly, it sounds like everything came true for you so far. I mean, yeah, that's
everything. I mean, everything in my life right now, I owe to AA and sobriety.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you.
I love the promises. I'm surprised. I have a lot of AA things on my fridge, and I have, the serenity prayer I have in my bathroom. I have things all over, but I need to, makes me think I need to print out the promises and put them up so people can see
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that. We appreciate it.
Welcome.
Basic Beth.
She's muted.
So I think the two that
wait, hold on. Do we know even how to do a podcast? Is this our first fucking podcast ever?
I think it is.
I mean, what the hell? Okay, Beth, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I think the two for me that are really coming true, like the ones I'm experiencing right now, because I'm also just restarted the step process. So I'm basically stuck in step one right now. So that sucks. But I think that where are the two that I just had? Like just that my whole outlook on life has shifted over the years. Like I just don't see things the way that I used to. Like even I'm in step one, and just really the starting point is just totally skewed from where it was. And the other one that God is doing for me what I can't do for myself. Like, because it's a lot, dude. There's just a lot, and there's always a lot going on. And, even today is super, super crazy. Like I'm multitasking, and, I'm not only doing that, I'm covering 2 people for the week, and it's just crazy busy, and God is taking care of all of it. Like as it comes in, it just happens. And so, yeah, those are mine.
Absolutely. Well, that's, and God is doing what we could not do for ourselves. I mean, obviously that promise came true today. Put down the drink. I'll be honest with you. I mean, but sometimes you don't see that, and it's just anyways, thank you, Basic Beth. Why didn't you think of something different? Why Basic Beth?
I don't know. It just kept coming up, and I was just like, I don't have time to think hard right now. So it was at the top, and there it was. And I'm basic. We all know I'm basic. It's okay.
You mean we didn't prepare for this show for hours and hours and hours upon end? Buckeye Bambi, I'm not going to let Beth say a word anymore because I know Beth. I mean, Bambi's been preparing for the show.
Bambi is always prepared.
I know. It's sad. It's really sad.
For us,
has to be.
Yeah, for us, yes.
Listen, someone has to keep the two of you in line, right?
That's right.
I'm not sure how I got that job because nobody has sent us in a resume for an intern. That's how I
That's
did
why.
Exactly. Christine might be looking for an internship. Yeah. See, there you go. That's right. Beth, I mean, Bambi, what's your promises?
Well, I just want to say ditto to everything that Christine said, because what promises haven't come true for me, and just like her, when I lost 6 people in 6 months in my life and I just drank 24/7, I mean, it was just miserable. And now that I just lost my brother 2 months ago, my last living relative, and I made it through without having to pick up a drink because of these promises. And and I just never thought I would do that. But I think the one that stands out the most is probably won't regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. Because, I just hated who I'd become. And I was so down on myself when I first came into here, and I just dwelled on everything that I had done while I was out there drinking. And I know I don't have to do that anymore. I've made amends. I'm moving on with my life. I'm not that person anymore, and I don't have to live in that. So,
Bambi, you said it perfectly. I don't have to, right? I don't have to anymore. I don't have to be the slave to alcohol. I don't have to be the slave to drugs. I don't have to lie, cheat, steal, and beg anymore. I don't have to. I could if I want. That's a choice I have today, right? But that's what the program gives me. It gives me a choice to do it. And being a human being and being a person that loves himself, I choose not to do that today. I choose to work the program. So yes, thank you, Bambi. I think that sums it all up. I get to today, right? I mean, that's what we've been talking about the last couple of shows anyways. Mine, ladies, is no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. And then the feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. And I'll explain that in a minute. And also we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. So that's my job every day. Beth, you do the same thing. I mean, we just help other people all the time. That's what I'm geared to do. I mean, nonstop. I just love helping people. That's number one. But our friend Chris Cudahy, Bag of Nuts, him and I had, when I talk to Chris, I have to have like an hour allotted time because Chris, I start the conversation. Hey, Chris, I really have to go into this meeting now. And an hour later, I need to go into the meeting. Okay. So him and I were talking and we were talking about something and when he was hanging up, he goes, Ed, you don't know the people that you help. You don't even have an idea of all the people that you help. He said, I could tell in your voice when you called me today, and he was right, that you were upset about something or you felt maybe you weren't part of. He said, don't ever fucking think that. He said, because you do an amazing things for helping people. And I was just touched that, and then we talk about the promises, and this is the promise that I'm helping people, that I'm there to kind of benefit others, so all those 3 promises to me kind of are working right now in my life. And of course I'd have to agree with you, Christine, that it's, every promise comes true, every promise comes true as long as we work the program, so anyway, so that's the question of the week. Neil, what's going on? How you doing? Neil is in Facebook land out there with us. So now we're going to bring in Christine. She's a woman in long-term recovery. She owns a skincare company, I believe, and weight loss company. And you want to introduce yourself, Christine? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Ed. I should be called Jersey Christine because I'm also
Uh-oh.
from Jersey.
Really? Where?
I grew up in Cherry Hill.
Oh, okay. See, I knew there was something about you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cherry Hill. Good. All right.
Yeah. I'm a Massachusetts transplant now, though. My
Okay.
husband's from here. So I've been up
Okay.
in Massachusetts since 2010. So I got sober up here.
Nice.
But yeah, I work for a company called Chiral, and what they carry is prescription customized skincare. So it's different, Ed, you and Beth and Bambi, your products would all be different. When you go on our website, you take a quiz, and based on your answers, how old are you? How much time do you spend in the sun? If you're on other medications, things like that. Based on your answers, the products are customized for you. So it's something different that Chiral's doing. And then we just started incorporating this year. Everyone's always looking for the latest weight loss trends, but this trend is really science backed, and it's injectable weight loss. So we carry the semaglutides now, which
Okay.
People are looking for. It's not. And one thing I like about Chiral is that we're adding to that. We're going to be adding meal plans and also counseling because, coming from the recovery world, we know nothing's an easy fix, and, being overweight can sometimes be an addiction, just like alcohol or drugs. So I'm really happy that we're, going to make it a whole well-rounded program.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, so did you get into this? It's called Chiral?
Yes, chiral. So chiral is actually a chemistry term. It refers to a molecule's mirror image.
Okay.
The founder picked the hardest name to pronounce.
Yeah.
As the name of the company. Thank you, honey.
Good Lord. All right.
Yeah.
So Bambi, you didn't tell us she was smart, so thanks for that. I don't know where to go with this one, but anyways, so that's some of the things that you're doing now. Did you do this when you were in recovery? I mean,
no, actually, I grew up working in the restaurant business, which is, great for alcoholics and drug addicts.
Yeah. Down in Cherry Hill?
Yeah, I started out in the Philly area. So I went to school in Philadelphia, worked in a lot of Philadelphia restaurants. And I would say that wasn't the greatest for my personality. I mean, I had a lot of fun, but I don't know how productive I was in the kitchen.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, think about it. It's an addict's dream. You stay up late. You're around like-minded people. You get cash, and that's good. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You go out all night and then sleep a little bit and then repeat.
There you go. That's it. That's exactly it. And plus, they know where all the good drugs are too. All the people in the restaurant industry. So.
Oh yeah. And you got the hookup at all the local bars and everything.
That's it. That's it. Exactly.
So, no, I didn't get into Chiral until I got sober. So, now I have a team of people with me, and I'm out doing a lot more things. I mean, I was not able to speak in public until I entered my first AA meeting.
Really?
That's another gift that's come from AA.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was terrified to speak in front of people.
Wow.
But, with AA, I just listened. When I first got there, I met a couple people that said, cling to the people that you see that are doing the right things, that are happy, that are living productive lives. And what they told me is, always speak up, always raise your hand. When you're asked to do something, do it. And that included getting up in front of groups and talking, even though I didn't want to, I always felt better afterwards. So that's been such a gift to be able to now speak in front of people, because before I just couldn't.
Absolutely. So what was the bottom, or what was the thing that brought you into the rooms, and then got you over from the restaurant industry into what you're doing now? How did you develop that? Obviously because of AA, I'm guessing, that's part of.
So when I got sober, my kids were 4, 3, and 1. So I was a mom. I thought I was a good one. But I had a couple incidents with my kids around that, kind of put them in dangerous situations. And a friend of mine had reached out. You know, people had talked to me about my drinking before, but I didn't react very well when anyone brought up my drinking. But this person approached me from a non-judgmental way and told me she was concerned about my kids. And that was the first time someone had actually ever mentioned my children. And I don't know, it was like that moment of clarity, you know, that everyone talks about. And I just thought, shit, like my kids don't deserve to have a drunk mom. Like they didn't ask to be brought into this world. They didn't ask to have an alcoholic mother, and I don't think it has to be like this. So, I mean, I had tried everything over the years, you know, to manipulate my drinking. I tried to stopping on my own, but, you know, never worked. So last resort, I called Central Services. I called AA.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And I got myself to a women's meeting. Not in my town, of course, because I was scared I would see someone.
Yeah, because everybody would know that you were drinking, right?
Yeah. But that was it. And that was the beginning of my life.
Wow. Okay. So mom, not so great of a mom that you felt, and then friend telling you, listen, you got to do something. What, then an AA meeting, right? Correct. And then they kind of changed your life when you walked into the doors of AA.
Exactly.
But how did you were you working in between, say, restaurant business and
at that point I actually wasn't working. I was staying home. I was staying home with my kids because my husband travels a lot for his job. So I was staying home with my kids.
Okay. So how did that affect being home? How did that affect your drinking life? I mean, was it easy? Was it like
No, I mean, I thought, you know, being such a good mom that when 2 or 3 o'clock rolled around, you know, I cracked my first beer because I deserved it at that point. I'd been home all day with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wasn't going anywhere, so it's not like I was driving, you know.
Yeah.
I deserved that beer.
So that became this vicious cycle that went round and round and round, and
Vicious,
finally somebody, vicious is right. So finally somebody called you out on it. So then you got into AA, and Bambi, feel free if you have any skincare questions, which I can ask.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. So I'm sure the years of drinking takes its toll.
My God, I know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I woke up, you know, and I have 50-some-year-old skin, and I realized what alcohol has done to me. So
exactly, I never washed my face either. I mean,
God, no, or take makeup off.
No, there was none of that. None of that.
We're supposed to take our makeup off? What?
Yeah. No, the makeup comes off on the pillow. That would be my way of taking the makeup off.
Oh my God. So then you got into recovery, and then what made you decide? I mean, you're a mom, you have kids. What made you decide to get into like skincare and really, it sounds like you're very successful. That's number one.
So I actually started working. I started working for a different company in direct sales. So, you know, direct sales is something you can do from home. So I wanted to make sure that I spent as much time with my kids as possible. And so I started working for this other company selling, and then I got connected with Honey Sagari, who is the founder of Chiral, and her being a fellow Jersey girl and super smart, innovative, and her first company was working specifically with people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And I lost my mom in 2009. She had early onset Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. So when I made that connection with Honey, I just wanted to be with her. I was like, whatever you're doing, I'm coming with you. Okay. And once again, this line of work allows you to still be home. So, you know, like my kids get home in like a half hour. So I can do my stuff from home. I can travel. I can sometimes, and I can, do a lot of things online, which is great with this company. And all of my sales go through my personal website. So I don't actually have to like keep any products on hand or anything like that. People get their products shipped directly from the lab or from a pharmacy, actually. Wow. So it's been great for me, honestly. But once again, I mean, had I been drinking, I would never be able to do this. Yeah. I'd be drinking right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be on a podcast drinking with us, making this shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we did get good at making shit up when we were drinking, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do it. I mean, sure.
Yeah. Come to the meeting tonight, and
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, I once convinced my husband I needed $800 for a little pug that I was buying, and there was no pug. I guess I just wanted extra money for wine,
Right.
make sure I had enough in reserve.
So Christine, you said you don't have, I'm really fascinated in like the no confidence thing. You didn't want to speak in front of anybody. You don't come off that way, obviously now, but,
No.
did that take time? Like what
It did take time. I mean,
okay.
I remember when I first came into AA and it would be a meeting where we even just had to read out of the book. I would count ahead of me in the circle, like, and count the paragraphs. Am I going to have to read? And like just reading. I mean, I know how to read. I didn't even want to read out of a book.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, so crazy, like psychotic, like counting. I mean, just whatever. Now that's not even a thought to me. And I think I was still so concerned about myself. I was concerned what other people thought about me. And, now I realize like nobody cares what I mean, people care about you, but no one's going to judge you in those halls.
No.
If you stutter on a word, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like that's not the point of an AA meeting. Like people
don't care. You're right.
No, people want you to get better. People want to help you. People want you to do the next right thing. I mean, it's just like, it's my favorite place in the world.
Yeah. Well, this company that you're working for, and Honey, is her name, I guess, is the owner's name, and Recovery. It sounds like it all can go together. It sounds like, you said take the assessment and see, how everything's going, and was that something that, you said you weren't into any kind of self-care or makeup or skincare beforehand, but did that come into play because I'm guessing number one, because of recovery and how, I mean, how like, did you wake up one day and say, oh, I look like shit. And then I put some crap on my face and make me look better.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like my eyes weren't open before.
Okay.
I look back at pictures of myself and I'm just like puffy and bloated and everything, and I feel like I was just going through the motions before I got sober. And now I'm just hyper aware of everything. And yes, very into taking care of myself, taking care of my surroundings. My favorite things in the world are plants and birds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I had a green thumb while I was drinking because I just didn't pay attention to anything else.
Can't remember to water them when you have to remember to water yourself, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And I never wanted to just sit outside and look at nature unless I had a beer in my hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, I was saying to Bambi before you got on, I've got like 6 bird feeders out in my front yard. And, the little chipmunk was sitting there on the bird feeder feeding himself. But I could literally sit for hours.
Yeah.
And just watch the birds and the squirrels and just be at peace.
It's a different
serenity.
It's a different, it's serenity now. It's exactly.
Serenity.
Yeah. So now, are you helping others? Do you feel you're helping others by doing what you're doing today? I mean, you look great. So
it's one of those things, like you said, you don't even realize how many your friends told you don't even realize how many people you're helping. Well, I feel the same thing. Like when you're part of a community and when you are just leading by example and doing the right thing, people like tend to flock to you. Sometimes I feel like, why are people with their problems always coming to me? But I'm always happy to help. And I don't mind it at all. And then in AA, I have a girl that I sponsor. She's a great friend. She's amazing. And then I also volunteer for a foundation called the Soulful Girls Club. We meet once a month. It's teenage girls with intellectual disabilities.
Okay.
And so we give them a space to hang out, do crafts. We do some kind of movement. It always ends in a dance party.
Oh, cool.
And it's actually one of my friends in recovery who is one of the people that helped to start it. Like, so I would never have found that without recovery. It's like, it goes kind of hand in hand. And like you said, I just, that's what I want to do in life is help people.
Yeah.
In any aspect I can. I mean, however.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the skincare business and the way we look, I'll be honest with you, and I think we all just stated on here. You said, you used to take your makeup on your pillow. Like I didn't give a shit how I looked. I really did. It had no, I thought I looked great. I had, had a mullet way back in the 80s. I wore every concert t-shirt in the world.
Yeah.
I had ripped jeans, not because they were cool, because that's all I wanted. I didn't really care, but then when I got into recovery, I started running. I started taking care of myself. I lost weight. I eat healthy, the whole 9 yards. It's just amazing, like how we help ourselves in different ways. You with your skincare, and I'm sure that trickles down through everything else in your life. I'm sure you eat healthy. I'm sure you whatever, you take care of yourself in other ways too. So,
and it's amazing when you start living that way, the people that you meet, like I'm friends with people that own the juice place in my town, and they're just like amazing people.
Like-minded.
Like-minded people. And same with the people in AA. It's just, I don't know. There's just nothing like it. And I feel like everywhere I go, I just meet more and more sober people, which I swear before I was sober, I didn't know one. I didn't know one. I didn't know anyone.
I know.
But it's like, I can't go to the grocery store without running into someone from AA, like always, everywhere I go, AA people everywhere.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I love it.
The Market Basket up there, right? Market Basket.
Oh yeah, I went to Market Basket this morning. How did you know?
I know everything about Massachusetts.
They have the best value. I love Market Basket.
Market Basket is wonderful. So now you're taking care of yourself. You're in your kind of the kids. How was it affecting the kids then versus now?
I would say probably. This is a. I mean, it's kind of funny now, but kind of horrible at the same time. My daughter, who was 4 at the time when I stopped drinking, it was probably a couple months before I stopped drinking. I was buckling her into her car seat, and she said to me, "Mommy, why do you talk different at nighttime?"
Oh.
And I was like, oh, like right through the heart, And of course I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And it's like, she's a 4-year-old. She can't elaborate on what she means. You talk different. And I knew what she meant, and, but that still didn't get me to stop drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I know they noticed things. I don't know now, my daughter's 9. They say they don't ever, I brought up, I think it was last summer, I was talking with my uncle about drinking, and my 7-year-old said to me, you used to drink beer? And I'm like, oh, thank God they don't remember. Right. So I don't know. I mean, I guess some of those things, I don't know how I affected them. My 7-year-old, just up until a couple months ago, he's 8 now. I was in his bed every night. And I don't know. I mean, there were some times where I was passed out and nobody could wake me up. So I don't know. Like, is he affected by that? Probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The reason why I asked that question is because my wife and I have a 21-year-old daughter along with 4 other children that are older, and we have grandkids and all that. But our 21-year-old daughter is insisting to work. Like, she's in college. She wants to work. She doesn't want to come home for the summertime. And, we're going to miss her. We wanted her to come home, and this is her last year, and, just come home, take off. But somebody said to me, he goes, Ed, your work ethic and Stacy's work ethic is impeccable. What do you think this kid's going to do? Right. She's going to look after you guys. She wants to work. She. So my thought was when I was drinking, thank God I didn't know. Sam's not my daughter, but I've known her since she's been 4. But if I'd known her, if I was doing what I was doing, this girl would probably be okay. I'll just mooch off of my parents, and this girl does not want to mooch off of us. 0, 0, 0. So that's another thing that recovery brings us. We lead by example, and that trickles down to our kids, right? I mean, it's just amazing, and as they grow and grow, you'll see more and more. I guarantee it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would read the big book in school. Like, my kids know about AA. My kids know about AA. They know I go to meetings. They don't really know what happens, but I tell them I go there to be a better person and help people.
Mommy school. We used to call it mommy school.
Yeah. When I meet somebody new, I don't know if you guys do this in AA, I put AA after their name in my
with the businesses.
Yep.
Yeah. So like a couple years ago, a couple people called, and we're in the car, and one of my kids was like, why is everyone's last name AA?
I love it.
Yeah.
But see, that's some of the things that are positive. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Mommy, you don't talk why do you talk different anymore? So
Right.
I get that. I mean, I understand that 100%. So now that you're in recovery and things are going well, what's some of the things that, you're looking forward to in the future? I mean, is it, this skincare, this is going to be the rest of your life? Or, I mean,
Yeah, I look forward to growing with the company. I look forward to just more volunteer opportunities, becoming more involved in AA. I don't know, maybe a different kind of exercise routine. I'm always kind of just switching it up. Traveling, our family loves to travel. And, each one of these things that I've named just like would not have been possible if I hadn't been sober.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, how come you would not be doing any of that if you were
Zero. And I love going away now. I went to an all-inclusive in Cancun for after Christmas. And
Wow.
Yeah, all-inclusive, sober. I mean, I think I had the best time there.
Probably.
You're not just drunk.
You remember it.
Yeah, I remember
That's pretty good. Yeah. They have
concerts. I love going to concerts sober, which I never would have thought.
Yeah. They have sober cruises. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Yep.
Yes.
Cruises. I would love to go on one. I mean,
yeah, actually, me too.
I mean, if anybody wants to send us tickets so we can go on it, we can rate it here on the show, and we would need 4, and we would want to include Christine in that one.
Please.
So, Bambi, I would like to turn the show over to you because you were so excited to have Christine on the show. 1,000 times today, I tried Bambi to cancel or get us going on a different way. But do you have any questions for Christine? I know you guys talk a lot, and I know you have, I know you want to kind of get your questions out too. So I'm sorry if I was holding you back.
Well, again, like when I woke up and from drinking so much, and it was like, what have I done to my skin over this,
Right.
And the journey, I mean, it's never too late to start your skincare. I mean,
Exactly.
And, like I didn't wear sunscreen. I was a sun worshiper, I would go out and now I put on sunscreen every single day, I mean, even if I'm not going out. And I know that that was like a big part with you too. You kind of wanted to do something better for yourself and to see the improvements and things like
Definitely.
that. And so I feel like a kindred soul that way because I mean, literally, I went from, being young and not having lines and wrinkles, and I woke up and I had them.
I mean, just so it happens.
Woke up after drinking, obviously, but I mean, it takes such a toll on your skin and everything.
Oh, yes.
So, do you? I mean, I don't know how personal you get with people. Do you see a lot of people that maybe have been in recovery that now want to take care of themselves? Are those kind of some clients that you?
Yes. Well, being in recovery myself, I have a lot of friends in recovery. So, like you said, we tend to neglect our own personal things like skin. And so me growing up in New Jersey, near the shore, I love the sun. So I had like sunspots all over my face. And, Chiral has this specific prescription product for sunspots. So like, that's been amazing. And even just, I tell people the most important thing is drink water, which, I definitely didn't do enough of while I was drinking. But, just that yeah, there you go. That one simple change, it works wonders for your skin. And if you listen to anyone that has amazing skin, they'll always tell you that's the first thing. You have to stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's amazing. Once you start taking care of, your health and your skin, the damage is not completely done. If you're using the right products that are made for you, you don't need a lot. You just need a couple things, but it's using the right ingredients, and the ingredients that your skin needs makes all the difference.
I wish I could show you my little area sitting to the side of me that must have like 30 different things on it here. It's crazy,
Is always doing some skincare thing. It's either in the morning when I'm calling her, at night when I'm calling her, right before the show. It's like, don't you know that I got my skincare stuff I got to do? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
You only get one face, man.
That's true. That's true.
That's the thing with Chiral. I say simplistic skincare routine because it's just one product at night. Well, wash your face and then another product and then 2 products in the morning, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing, and we're going to close here in a minute. We'll figure out. We'll get you to tell everybody how we can get a hold of you and all that, and how they can get products. But you said at the beginning of the show, Bambi, Beth, and Ed, you guys would take the test or the evaluation on my website, and it would tell each one of you guys how to take care of your skin. Now, you included me, a guy. Now,
yes. We have a lot of guy clients.
Okay.
It's not too late for you either, Ed.
Ed, you have skin too.
I don't look like I'm 27 years old.
I mean, you do.
Thank you.
No, my husband uses the products. We have a lot of gentlemen customers.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
and ours also works for all skin types, colors, types, because it's personalized for each person.
Okay.
All right. So it's
I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of guys don't. I mean, I don't. When Bambi said, we have somebody with skincare on and she's recovering, I'm like, all right, well, at least I can relate to her. She's in fucking recovery. I don't know about shit. I'll talk to her about recovery. But no, you're right. And Beth, you're right. You said you have skin too, and and especially with me, no hair, I constantly, I have to put sunscreen on all the time. Yeah. And, I mean, it's just something that I've never really thought of,
Right.
I take care of myself every other way, but I really don't do anything for my skin. I don't, so.
I mean, you look perfect now.
You look perfect when you're 70.
You could just be one step better.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, maybe you'll look the same as you do now.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing, right?
Yes, that's it. I will get on your website and I will order all the products I need for me to look
fantastic.
The same in 5 years.
Same in 5 years. Absolutely. So speaking of your website, how can we get a hold of you? What is there, how do we order? How do we take
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram at morning_Christine, or you can go to my website, which is www.mychiral.com/Christine.
Okay. And that will all be in the show notes because I wouldn't even know how to start spelling that.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it, Ed.
So Bambi will put all that in the show notes. And, if you had to tell somebody, out there that maybe just young in recovery or new, and again, I know you're into the skincare and the health. What would that one thing that you would tell that new woman in recovery, like how to begin their life, maybe?
Sure. The one thing I always tell any new people in recovery is that it gets better.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Honestly, each day, each week, each month, each year, I'm in my 40s now, and 40s were better than 30s, 30s better than 20s. Every decade to me has gotten better.
Yep. Yeah. And the people who are out there drinking, I've never heard anybody say that, but I can honestly, I mean, all 4 of us, I can honestly say that. I mean, Beth, Bambi, and myself, we say that all the time. And now you're even bringing it up. Like, life just gets better because we're sober. Life gets better because we're doing things for others. Life gets better because, we're not in self anymore, exactly. and it's funny, like when, and we'll end with this, but it's funny, like when we're out there doing our thing, we're so absorbed in ourself, and then we look like shit when we're doing it, right? I mean, come on, let's be serious,
Right.
We get out of self, we get, everything gets better, our life gets better. Now my skin's going to get better. 20 years, so I've been waiting for this. But Beth, do you have any questions for Christine before we close? No? Okay.
No, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome. It's been so much fun.
Absolutely. Sorry about the little delay in the
no worries at all
beginning. And we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you kind of telling us about how much you love AA is what I got out of this whole thing. I mean, I know you're here to talk about your products too, but it's more about it's the AA thing.
Perfect for a big book month.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing in my life. I say that to everyone in front of anyone, anything, my sobriety comes first.
That's right. That's right. And it shouldn't. Every one of us, anything we put before our sobriety just goes away.
lose.
We absolutely 100%, even our skin, right?
Exactly. Sobriety comes first. Sorry, Kyrol.
That's right. Sorry, Kyrol. So anyways, ladies, Christine, thank you guys so much. And we really appreciate you coming on. Please stay in touch with us. Hopefully we can get some of our listeners over to you so they can look just as good as we do.
Yes, thank you so much.
And stay sober, everybody.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.